Well, good evening and welcome to the Hamden Football Netball League Junior Footy and Netball Show. All thanks to a brand new sponsor, the Sunday competition, of course, brought to you by Southwest TAFE. And it's great to have Southwest TAFE on board, that is for sure. Mark Fidge and the crew down there do a wonderful job. Narelle Allen, they just do an awesome job. They've got that magnificent new library facility too, which is sensational. So our Sunday competitions are all thanks to Southwest TAFE too now, which is so fantastic. And we mustn't forget McDonald's as well. Great supporter of everything in regards to local football and netball. They are just absolutely sensational, and Ruby is the #1 ticket holder at McDonald's, make no mistake about that. And I also want to give a massive shout out to Powercore. They just get involved. Timmy Rourke, Brian Purse, Sealy and the crew, they absolutely love it as well. So it's great to have you on board. Let's meet the panellists, because we've got a newbie tonight, which I'm really excited about. But before we go to the newbie, I want to say a very good evening to the little legend herself. She's not little anymore. I'll tell you what, I reckon she's grown a foot in the off-season. Ruby Couch, how are you, Rubes?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Mate, fantastic. And tell us about your off-season, because you had a massive off-season. You played some rep cricket, you played local cricket, and you tasted a bit of success, Rubes.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We managed to make the grand final both in the Warrnambool League and in the Premier Cricket League, which was, a good experience.
That is unbelievable, mate. And you had a pretty good season yourself. I think you might have got a couple of trophies, a couple of personal trophies. I know you don't like pumping up your own tyres, but you're going really well, aren't you?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Pretty good, mate. And listen, what's the feeling like amongst the girls and that? You know, getting back into the, you're playing footy with the Roosters, and you're also playing the netball. What's the feeling like, Rubes? Is everyone pumped and they're geared up for a big season?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty exciting just because we've had the 2 years off, but the only downside is that we've lost a few people due to COVID. I think they've just lost interest in the sport. So hopefully, once we get back to a bit of normality, we'll get a few more numbers back up. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? You know, it's like people have obviously had 2 or 3 really interrupted years, and they've maybe found other things that they're interested in, and they've gone that way. So yeah, the next couple of years are going to be really, really interesting. I'm looking forward to finding out how you went on the weekend as well. But before we do, what about this megastar sitting beside us? He's only 15 years old, and we say a very good evening to Reggie Mast from the Warrnambool Blues. And Reg, I must admit, I saw you for the first time in the under-23 competition back in November, and I was pretty impressed with what I saw. So much so, Rubes, I thought, let's get him on the Junior Footy and Netball Show. Mate, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. And just give us a little bit of a background yourself. You've always played footy at the Warrnambool Football Club?
Yeah, so I actually started off at East Warrnambool because my dad played there, and then a few years back ended up moving to Warrnambool to play half an age group when I was going into under 14. So yeah.
Fantastic.
There ever since, yeah.
Mate, and listen, big things. I don't want to put the moz on you or anything, but talking to Benny Parkinson during the pre-season, mate, and he's expecting you to play some senior footy as a young kid. You're really not a young kid. You're like a big man child. Let's be honest, Reg. You excited?
Yeah, definitely. Really excited. Been looking forward to it. Working hard for it. So that's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. And you didn't play for Warrnambool on the weekend. You played Greater Western Victorian Rebels under 16s.
Yeah.
Tell us how that all went.
Yeah, it went well. So we travelled up to Bendigo. I went on the Friday night, so just to save an early morning wake up, I guess, get a bit of a sleep in. And so we played at QEO Oval and got a win, so that was fantastic, yep.
Mate, that is fantastic. Any other boys from the Hamden Football Netball League representing?
Yeah, Will Rantel and Mitchell Lloyd, and a few Cobden boys, Miles Sims from Camperdown, Reece Unwin, Jonty Robinson, Ben McGlade and Flynn Penry, all from Cobden. So yeah.
Awesome, mate. I'm hearing good things from young Jonty Robertson.
Yeah.
He's a great little player. I remember
definitely.
seeing him coming through the junior ranks, and goal kicking machine, and just seems to find the footy.
Yeah, no, great player. Been playing against him for a few years now. Really good.
Yeah, and now listen, it's only Wednesday, mate, but have you been given the heads up that you possibly might make your debut this week for the Blues? Can you give us a little bit of a lead in here, Reggie?
Not yet, but we've just lost our 2 taller defenders, so I've been playing a bit of that role in the practice matches and stuff, so hoping to get in, but yeah, not sure. We'll see what happens.
Watch this space, mate. Listen, it's going to be an exciting year for you, that is for sure. Rubes, how'd you go on the weekend, mate? In the under 17 netball, the Roosters against your old foe, your old side, the Cobden Bombers. How'd you fare?
Yeah, it's always a challenge facing like your old club, but it was a tough loss. We lost by a few. But I think once we get further into the year, we should gel a bit more and hopefully, get a few wins on the board.
And what about your goals? You know, are you looking to play, you know, some higher senior netball this year?
That would be great. I didn't try out for seniors this year just because I had other commitments with cricket and football as well. But just to see where I can get to, that would be good.
Awesome. And you might have seen Ruby at the local ice creamery. What is it? Frostbite.
Yeah.
You are the number one server in Frostbite. My kids love it. They always give Rubes a high five. They love getting in there, that is for sure. And what a great little venue that is. Hey, listen, we've got a couple of special guests that have been keenly waiting and listening to us talk a fair bit of dribble here to start the show. Let's go to the Zoom call now. And we're going to start off with Willie Rantel from the South Warrnambool Roosters. And Will, of course, an up-and-coming, really bright prospect, this kid. He's playing some sensational footy, but not only some great football, he's actually playing some magnificent basketball with the Warrnambool Seahawks. I was out there a couple of weekends ago, and I was impressed with what I've seen. Will, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, yourself.
Mate, fantastic. And before we start talking about the football and stuff, just tell us about basketball and the Seahawks and how that's going to work this year for yourself, mate.
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to get the call from the coach, Alex Gines, who just rang me and fellow basketball at Eamon Radley. And yeah, they gave us the call up to come try out, and both of us were lucky enough to make the team. And every Saturday night, just go against people bigger than me, which is just amazing to play against bigger bodies, which, like, Reg will know this week if he gets that debut, which I think he might get. Like, it's just amazing to play against that bigger body.
Yeah, we were obviously playing with you through juniors and stuff. What's the step up like just playing against older men and big people, I guess?
The smarts on them, just trying to learn off those older people, because moves that get past defenders in our age group, they're just not dumb enough in this age group, and they just defend that. So yeah, just the learning aspect is so much better.
Now, Will, do you have any superstitions before you play? Just any rituals before you have to go and play?
No, nothing like that. Just no superstitions for me.
Hey, Will, now, of course, your brother Jay, mate, drafted the Collingwood Football Club. To be honest, I thought he was stiff not to get another contract. He's over playing in the SANFL. How's he faring at the moment, mate? You're obviously talking to him regularly.
Yeah, so he had his debut of the Sandful Saturday, and yeah, he did pretty good on that one. I haven't heard much else from him, but yeah, Mum and Dad went up and watched that. I was ashamed. I stayed in Warrnambool and missed it, but yeah, I think he's going pretty well.
What's it like having Jay as just a role model? Like, do you want to live up to him, or do you sort of want to make your own name a bit?
No, I love it. I get that early check of what it's like and what you've got to put in, and just knowing what AFL, like when he was in the AFL, what you actually have to work for and how big it is, just puts in perspective of what I need to do to get to that dream.
Yeah, and Jay was certainly one of those players, mate, and he's one of those players that absolutely works his butt off. His work rate and his running capabilities are just second to none, mate. Fingers crossed he's going to have a crack. He's just been included on the Port Power COVID list as well, which is a great achievement in its own right. And fingers crossed he might even get a look in there at some stage as well, which I think will be fantastic. Now, who's coaching the Roosters in the under-18 and the halves this year, mate?
Because of basketball commitments, I'm playing 16s this year, but I think Brad Miller might be taking that role.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. So I was going to ask you that. So your focus is going to be obviously both. You're wanting to play the Sunday Southwest TAFE competition, obviously, and then Seahawks games when you possibly can as well, mate. So that's fantastic to see.
Yeah, thank you.
Love it, mate. Love it. Now, who are some of the inspirations for you apart from your brother? Who do you barrack for, and who are some of your role models that you look up to, mate?
I'm a Sydney supporter. A lot of people gave me a bit of crap for it, but I stuck with Sydney throughout, because just players like Josh Kennedy and Isaac Heaney, they're just amazing.
Absolutely. What about basketball, mate? Who are we, Ja Morant, or who are we thinking?
Just the local players who I've been lucky enough to train with, like prospects coming up with like Dyson Daniels and just them type of guys. Just lucky enough to actually play with them in person. Just want to be like them.
And I tell you what, I was out there a couple of weeks ago, guys, and Ruby, can I say, Big Reggie, he was getting into it in the crowd. Make no mistake about it. I think he's one of your biggest supporters, Will. Him and a few other mates, mate. They were absolutely loving the action, and you played fantastically well for a young kid. I didn't realise you were so young.
Yeah, no, it's always good to have your mates up there to just show they care and want the best for you. So it was just amazing to see them up there.
Awesome stuff, mate. You got Camperdown coming up this weekend. They're struggling a little bit in the juniors, but I think the under 16s, they've got not bad numbers, the 14s and 16s and stuff, which is great to see. So, fingers crossed. You'll have a big contest on the weekend, buddy.
Yeah, no, it'll be good to see the boys. I reckon we've got great depth this year, so I reckon we can possibly use our depth and our great players we also have to get them. But yeah, it should be a good showdown.
Awesome, mate. Well, great to talk to you, and we wish you all the best of luck for the remainder of the season, not only in the junior footy, but also in the Warrnambool Seahawks outfit, mate. So, good on you. Great to talk to you, Will. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good stuff. There's Willie Rantel. He is an absolute beauty, Reggie.
Yep, superstar.
Good mate of yours, obviously, mate.
Yeah, no, great mate. Known him for a long time now.
I didn't ask him actually before he went, but what do you go like on the basketball court, mate? I'm tipping you'd be all right too, are you?
I've played a few seasons with him in my time, but nothing compared to him.
Good stuff. Awesome. Well, we're going to move along now, Rubes, to the netball. And we've got a very special guest from the Koroit Saints. Matilda Sewell is her name, and she's been kind enough to join us. And, Will Rantel was in the kitchen, and I reckon Matilda is in the kitchen as well. Matilda, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, listen, what are you cooking? What's on the menu tonight, mate?
Oh, look, I'm not 100% sure.
Awesome. Hey, listen, how did the Koroit girls fare in round one against the Hamilton Kangaroos to kick off their netballing season?
Yeah, the Hamilton have actually got a pretty good side in the under 17s. But yeah, it was a good game, but I think we ended up winning by a bit. So it was good. It was good to play all together.
Hey Matilda, I was just wondering who's coaching and captaining your side this year for Koroit?
So for 17s, it's Kate Lindsay, and then Mia Mills is captain for our team. So yeah, it should be good. Good leadership.
Can I just say, Kate Lindsay, she does a great job with the girls. She's been involved in netball for a long time. So you've got a really good mentor there, that is for sure, Matilda.
What's your goals as your team this year? Like, what do you want to do and where do you want to finish, sort of?
Yeah, I think we'll have a pretty good side this year. Like, we'll be competitive against most teams. Like, obviously, the goal is to win, but yeah, probably our biggest competitors would be Cobden.
What positions do you play?
I play defence. So in 17s, I more play like goalkeeper, but when I get a game in A1, I play like a bit goal defence, a bit of wing defence.
Yeah, and do you enjoy the step up to A1 and that, Matilda? Like, it's a big step up, but you seem to take it and handle it pretty well by the sounds of things.
Yeah, and there's some really good players on the team, so you actually learn a lot from them, and we're playing with them, and just even little bits of feedback while you're playing, and it just helps. So yeah, like Rhiannon and Emily Batt's really good.
Yeah, awesome. Now, your mum and dad, I'm tipping Cameron and Kate, correct me if I'm wrong, they're no doubt great supporters and very good football, netball, basketballers in their own rights.
Yeah, they are pretty good. I've always got some feedback for me when I need to improve on.
How much have they impacted your sporting career, I guess? Like, have they just been good for you or helping out in sport?
Yeah, definitely. It's helpful seeing their input, and they're always there, at my games and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Now, do you know much about your opponent this weekend, the North Warrnambool Eagles? They're always pretty strong in regards to netball, and especially their juniors. What kind of contest are we expecting this weekend, Matilda?
I'm not sure. I think it could be a good game. I think I'll be playing against Emily Staffen, and that's always a good tussle between me and her. So yeah, it should be good.
Awesome. And what about the little girl? So, well, she's not little anymore. I gotta keep saying it because she's shot up. But she goes all right. She's always a fierce competitor. Have you come across Rubes and played on each other over the journey?
Not really, because I think Ruby's a year older, and we didn't really get a season in 15s. So yeah, haven't played a whole heap against each other, but definitely I've seen her around. So.
No, good stuff. And what makes the Koroit Football Netball Club, like their netball and their football, is just so super strong? What do you put it down to, mate? They've just had so much success over the journey.
Yeah, it's good. Like, we've always got good coaches, and it's good that we get senior opportunities in juniors. Like, you actually learn a lot every training and game. You improve. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, great to meet you. And we certainly wish you all the best of luck for the remainder of the season, and we'll certainly watch you closely, that is for sure. Kicked the season off very, very well last week, mate, and we better let Mum and Dad get in the kitchen and cook you something up for tea.
Yeah, thank you.
Good on you, Matilda. A couple of rippers there, Matilda and Will. A couple of beauties. You've obviously seen Matilda play. She's got a fair bit of talent, they tell me.
Yeah, I know she plays up in the Hampton League. Sorry, the Hampton competition, and yeah, she's a very strong defender. I know a lot of people have definitely talked her up. Yeah.
Awesome, exciting. Hey, listen, so the remaining games, so Rubes, the Roosters are taking on the Camperdown Magpies. Do you know much about Camperdown in the netball?
They're always pretty competitive. I know it should be a pretty tough game for us this week, but hopefully we can come away with the win. But yeah, I think it'll just be good.
Portland taking on Cobden. Cobden definitely the side to beat by all accounts, Rubes.
Yeah, definitely.
Terran Mortlake taking on Port Fairy. You know much about them yet?
I know Port Fairy struggled a bit with numbers this year, so I think they've had to pull in a few girls who may have not even played netball, but I think it's good that they've managed to get a side and are still keen to play.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. North Warrnambool Eagles Koroit. Which way are you leaning?
I'd probably say Koroit. I think they're going to be one of the benchmark teams this year in the under-17s competition.
I like it. Kate Lindsay was pretty confident too, don't worry. And Hamilton Kangaroos taking on Reggie's Warrnambool Blues. What are your thoughts there, Rubes?
I'm not too sure. I think I could go either way with this one. I know Warrnambool, they have a strong team. They always have. And Hamilton, they have a lot of height, which is definitely an advantage for netball.
Yeah, good. What about the footy, Reg? I'm going to put you under siege here, under 18 and a halves, mate. I'm going to go through that.
Yeah.
Warrnambool taking on, where are we? Warrnambool taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos up there at Melville Oval. Always a tough road trip. Had a good win last week against the Portland boys.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I don't know too much about Hamilton, to be honest, but the boys had a good start, so backing them in to get a win again this weekend, hopefully.
And Hamilton have always got good numbers,
definitely.
and they've always been strong coming through the 14s and 16s. So you would imagine that some of these kids are pushing through the under 18s now. Yeah. North Warrnambool Eagles and Koroit. This will be a ripping game as well.
Yeah, no, that'll be a great game. They've both got some top players, both really high rated players that could be playing senior footy potentially this year. So yeah, that'll be good too.
Terran Mortlake v Port Fairy, thoughts?
They've both been in the past. They've struggled for a bit of numbers, but I think they might have a few more this year, which will be good. So that'd be a good game too.
And you expect the Roosters to get the job done against Camperdown?
Yeah, look, probably, to be honest. Roosters always really strong side, so yeah.
Always hard to beat, that is for sure. And Portland taking on Cobden's a final game. A little bit of the unknown with Portland, but they were competitive against the Blues last week.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I didn't see the game myself, but they sure have some good players, and I know a couple of kids out there that have some talent, so yeah, them and Cobden should be good.
Brilliant. I'll tell you what, not a bad debut from Reggie. What do you reckon, Rubes?
Yeah, I thought he spoke pretty well. Not too shaky.
Seriously, you two been catching up at school, just trying to, exchanging notes. This is what you do, this is how you handle it. Hey, just want to give a shout out to Chittick's Pies. They are the official pie of the Hamden Football Netball League, and you know I love a meat pie, and they are as good as you will see. So great to see Chittick's back on board once again in 2022. Rubes, we know you love your McDonald's. You kind of 2 or 3 times a week, I reckon, through the drive-through at Macca's. How's that gone in the pre-season? All good?
Yeah, it's been great.
We're going to get you on the Chittick's Pies. Hey, listen, fantastic show. Southwest TAFE Junior Footy and Netball show, of course, and that's what the competitions are on a Sunday, which is just fantastic. We must thank our other sponsors too, Powercore and also McDonald's, Lindock Living, a great supporter, and Sungold Milk as well. Great to have those sponsors on board. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Get interactive. We're going to have some kids on right throughout the season. It's going to be sensational. And we've also got that Power Core MVP of the Water, the Power Core Rising Star winner as well, which we're going to run right throughout 2022. Rubes, Reggie, the two R's. Thanks very much, guys.
No
I think
worries.
you've done
Thank you.
sensationally well. We'll see you next week.